That's mine.
Is it the doctor's phone? They'll wait, I think. Dr. Kajkenova is our special guest today from St. Vincent, and we are so glad that she is here. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
wanted to talk a little bit about calcium, women, and heart risk, because a lot of women take calcium for osteoporosis, but yet there's some evidence that this could be a problem as far as their heart health.
Yes, the recent study done in Europe showed that taking daily calcium supplementation increases the heart risk by 82%.
By 82%, so quite a bit. What is your recommendation then for getting enough calcium yet not increasing that risk?
Well, it goes to the old saying, take everything from food. Unfortunately, average Americans take about 750 milligrams of calcium from their regular diet. But taking calcium from food will be sufficient enough to keep your daily supplementation.
So we're going to talk about some of those calcium-rich foods in just a moment. So is there any concern about getting too much calcium from the calcium-rich foods?
Not really, because majority of the calcium-rich food has about 300 milligrams of calcium, and the calcium from food does absorb quite slowly, unlike the calcium supplementation from the pills.
Would you ever recommend the calcium supplements for any woman then? Or are there cases where you would say that's a good idea?
There are cases for women who have osteoporosis who do need some calcium supplementation because they're lactose intolerant, and there is no way they can get their daily required requirements for the calcium from their food intake. For those people, yes, I would like to recommend, but not more than 15 milligrams tablets.
Okay. At what age should we start thinking about osteoporosis as women?
Well, osteoporosis is a silent pediatric disease, yes, because we do build the bones while we're growing. So we as a parents have to be very aware that kids need to take enough calcium while they're growing and building the bones. So for children, the daily requirement is about 13 milligrams of calcium. It's between ages of, especially between ages 13 and 19. And for women, premenopausal women, the daily requirement is about 1,200 milligrams of calcium, and as well as for men over the age of 70.
So it's something we all need to think about throughout our lives, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the calcium-rich foods then that you think would be a good idea for us to use, and I think we're going to put some of these on the screen.
Yes. Dairy products are the main source of the calcium. It's such as cheese, milk, yogurt. Each serving of the dairy products has about 300 milligrams of calcium.
So it's a good excuse to eat ice cream.
It is absolutely, yes. And
sardines we don't hear a lot about.
Sardines, sardines as well as salmon and trout, if you eat bones, this is a good source of calcium.
What about, there are some other things like almonds and eggs that perhaps we don't think about?
Nuts, if you would like to snack, munch on nuts. Almonds and peanuts are a great source of calcium. Don't forget the green leafy vegetables.
We talk a lot about heart disease in women and the fact that sometimes the symptoms are very different for women than men. Could you talk a little bit about that, since we are connecting this with possible heart health?
Women, for several decades, women were ignored out of their kind of heart disease risk. Unfortunately, they do have, and the symptoms become atypical. Women are majorly caretakers, so they always ignore their own symptoms. But the risk for having heart disease is highest for the men.
So is this something you're talking to your patients about, not worrying so much about the calcium supplements that we've heard about so long, and switching to the good foods? Absolutely, and we call it functional foods. Focus on the right foods rather than right supplements. Healthy living and good eating. Healthy eating. Thank you, Doctor, for coming. We want to remind everybody about the Longevity Center at St. Vincent, because that's why they're there, to be sure we live long, healthy lives, and we're healthy throughout our lives. It's 5 St. Vincent Circle in Little Rock, and there's the phone number for more information. Well, thank you for telling us about this new study. It's very interesting.
Good to have
one of the reasons that we have you guys on here quite often. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you can stay here with me.
All right.